Let's kick things off with a question that's so fundamental, so obvious, most of us never even think to ask it. Why do we have two of so many things?
I'm serious. Have you ever just stopped, looked in the mirror, and had that thought? Two eyes, two ears, two arms, two legs. It seems completely normal, right? But there's a really profound evolutionary reason for this design. So, what's the real story behind our mirrored bodies?
Well, the answer lies in a simple but incredibly powerful concept. Our bodies aren't just a random collection of parts. Nope, they're built on a symmetrical plan. And understanding this plan, well, it tells us a fascinating story about our most ancient ancestors. So let's start right there with that simple observation that we all make every single day. The question in the mirror. You've got to understand, this two-sided design is absolutely not an accident. It isn't some random quirk of biology. It's a fundamental blueprint, one that's been shaped and perfected over millions and millions of years of evolution.
Now, this blueprint actually has a scientific name, and it is the key to understanding the shape of almost all complex animal life on Earth. We're talking about the basic blueprint of life itself.
Okay, the key term here is bilateral symmetry. It's a big phrase for a simple idea. It just means that you can divide an organism with a single line right down the middle and get two halves that are essentially mirror images. Think of a butterfly, a fish, or, well, us.
And this comparison really helps clarify our design by showing the alternative. On the left, you see bilateral animals, like us. We have a distinct front and back. We're designed for moving forward on purpose. But on the right, you've got creatures with radial symmetry, like a starfish or a jellyfish. You can divide them multiple ways, kind of like slices of a pizza. Now, that's a great design if you're going to live a stationary life, but it's not so great if you need to hunt down your dinner or escape from becoming lunch yourself.
So that brings us to the big why. Why did this bilateral design become so dominant? Let's dive into symmetry's massive evolutionary advantage. For our ancient ancestors, this body plan offered three absolutely crucial advantages that let them not just survive, but thrive. We're talking efficient movement, enhanced perception, and a much faster response time. First up is efficient movement. A symmetrical body is kind of like a well-balanced boat. Having two matched sides gives you stability for streamlined, purposeful forward motion. It's just the most effective way to get from point A to point B without constantly tipping over. Second is enhanced perception, and this is where having pairs is a total game changer. Two eyes give us so much more than just a backup. They create binocular vision, which is crucial for depth perception. And two ears? They allow our brain to triangulate a sound source with incredible accuracy. It literally turns our perception of the world from flat 2D into a rich 3D experience. And third, a faster response. With a distinct front, the part of the body that's always moving forward into the unknown, our ancestors evolved ahead. This was a brilliant innovation. It meant clustering the most important sensory organs, and most importantly, the brain, right where they were needed most, to process information and react in a split second.
Okay, but I know what you're thinking. If symmetry's so great, what about everything on the inside? So let's tackle that question about our internal organs.
Right? You're sitting there thinking, hold on a minute, my heart is on one side, my liver isn't symmetrical, my stomach is just kind of there, so what's the deal? If symmetry is the master plan, why does it all seem to fall apart on the inside?
This is where we see the difference between external and internal pressures. Our external body is symmetrical for moving and sensing the world around us, but our internal organs are laid out asymmetrically for one simple reason: pure efficiency. It's all about packing everything into a limited space. Think of it like packing a suitcase. And even then, some really crucial internal organs, like our kidneys, are still paired up.
So the big takeaway here is that this isn't just a random collection of features. It's a coherent system, a repeating pattern that has defined animal life for hundreds of millions of years. Ultimately, it all comes down to this single idea. Symmetry is evolution's efficient design for a body that needs to move, sense, and react purposefully. That's the core of it. It's all about purposeful interaction with the world. From the very earliest complex animals on the ocean floor all the way up to us today, this bilateral blueprint has proven to be a winning recipe for survival time and time again.
So, the next time you look in that mirror, you're not just seeing yourself. You are seeing the result of an ancient and incredibly successful evolutionary design. Which, of course, leaves us with one final fascinating question. If this symmetrical blueprint has worked so well for so long, what on earth might the next successful design even look like?